Warning, listening to the following podcast may cause your pharmacy to experience extreme success. Common side effects include of listening to this podcast are greater knowledge, improved performance, and higher revenue. This is the Pharmacy Podcast Network's coverage of the McKesson ideaShare 2017, recorded live from the Ernest Memorial Convention Center in New Orleans. Sponsored by the McKesson Pharmacy Technology and Services Division, MPTS. McKesson Pharmacy Technology and Services provides pharmacy owners the technology infrastructure to manage, grow, and compete at a national level while serving their local communities with the best healthcare services. Be sure to listen to this special 12 podcast series dedicated to the empowerment and success of community pharmacy businesses across the country. And now, here's your host of the Pharmacy Podcast Network, Todd Urey.
Hello, this is Nehal Patel from Wyandotte Drugs, and you're listening to the Pharmacy Broadcast.
Hey, this is Todd Urey with the Pharmacy Podcast, live recording at the ideaShare 2017. It is a treat for me to be interviewing pharmacy owners and dynamic players that are really pushing the envelope of customer service, technology usage, workflow management, different things that are happening, and what a better place to be at the ideaShare, where this is really the think tank for pharmacy business owners. Welcome to the Pharmacy Podcast, Nehal. How are you?
I'm good. How are you, Todd?
Good. So tell me about your pharmacy. Tell me the name of your pharmacy, how many locations you have, what you guys specialize in.
So I'm from Wyandotte, Michigan. It's a beautiful town in an area called Downriver area,
Okay.
South of Detroit. Situated on Detroit River, actually. And we opened up Wyandotte Drugs in about 2009, September. What we targeted customers for is mostly about how we can make them compliant. And I think the one thing that did stood out is no matter how much you do compliance packaging, no matter how much you try to make them adherent, MedSync and all that, one primary requirement is how can you help them save money where you make these medications more affordable for them. And
that makes sense.
That actually did work out good. Customer resonated with the same idea, and within 2 years, I can proudly say that in 2011, for the total year, we saved customers more than $300,000 in out-of-pocket costs.
Unbelievable.
So basically, it worked out good. On everybody's idea, like customers were able to afford the medication, so there was no non-compliance on that end. Because it's like, you can synchronize the meds, you can do everything, but if you cannot make it affordable for them, then it's useless to do no matter what you want to do, because they're not going to pick that medication up.
Absolutely. So an ideaShare, there's so many conferences, there's so many things pulling at you as a pharmacy owner. You have employee issues, you have payment issues, insurance plans, probably property taxes, things that are just taking place that pull your attention. Why is it that you invest your time to come to the ideaShare?
So ideaShare is a platform. The way I look at it is, it really, really gives us all a look into a future, a peek into a future, I should say, where we can actually look at what changes that are coming in industry. We can look at as to what the future looks like, any system changes, anything that helps us perform better as a pharmacist in our day-to-day life, as well as a business, to make sure that we are more sustainable than ever. And I think this is an ideal platform that creates this, and that's the reason I love to come up here every year. You look at it, it's a wide range of varieties. You get to meet the generic manufacturer representatives, you get to meet the purchasing people, you get to meet the technology people, you talk about compliance packaging, you talk about adherence issues. Even the PPNs come up here, which is Carolyn, I think, being a regular up here. So it gives you the wide array of topics to look for and plan ahead, where you can do better overall as a business owner as well as a pharmacist.
So what pharmacy system are you using right now? PharmaServe.
We do use Navigator along with it too.
And how many years have you been using the PharmaServe system?
It's been about 5 years now. Yeah, it's 5 years.
And tell me about the innovation of the system from your perspective. What has the system been investing in order to keep you competitive, in order to keep you efficient, in order to keep you to the point that you have more time to spend with your patient?
So the biggest thing that I like about PharmaServe system is, multiple factors. One is it's Windows based, so the security is there. Two, it's Windows based. Sometimes it's hard to process. Once you hang on to it, once you get a hang of it, I think it's fantastic, but the updates and implementation that they are going on while matching the industry standards, like you talk about mobile delivery system that they're bringing over, med synchronization, you talk about clinical pharmacy services, all that does add up. And I mean, lately they've been doing some very good innovation up here, trying to match the industry standards, along with maintaining that focus on a pharmacy where you make sure that it's been taken care of correctly for you.
So part of med synchronization, med sync, is the ability to reach out to a patient if something has changed, in order that they don't have the fear of not knowing what to do with their medication, whether there's a medication added, whether there's a medication change. So how are you using the reporting system to help you reach out to those patients?
So MedSync, I mean, obviously being independent, I mean, you know that we are connected to the patient, but what makes a difference with MedSync is now you're not talking about patients coming like 4 or 5 times a month to get their medications. Initially, when they're started on a new medication, yes, it's an additional trip, but once you put that into the sync along with the other medications that they're taking, it makes a hassle-free change for them. So that way, I think more and more patients are realizing that it's a better idea to go on a medication synchronization, because that way they're not making multiple trips, all the medications are together. They don't have to worry about, oh, did I run out of this, did I run out of that? I don't have enough of this and everything else together. It allows the pharmacy to plan. That's one. Also, it makes basically our life simpler, because we can now spare time and concentrate on how to take care of our patients clinically, where we make sure about the drug interaction, their blood pressure monitoring, diabetes monitoring, so we can be more clinical role that every one of us expected it to be, and not just a prescription filling location. So it makes a big difference with MedSync for sure.
So tell me about how you're increasing business from a perspective of your marketing, and how technology helps you to do that. And an example that I'm hearing about is I'm hearing a lot of community pharmacies are doing things that specialty pharmacies normally did, such as reaching out to physicians, scheduling meetings with physicians to really hear what their challenges are. So tell me about that side of your business.
So this is exactly where I think we were pioneering the whole idea, where when we started the Wyandotte Drugs, that's what we started doing, is we started reaching out to physicians. The primary question we asked is, what can I do to help your patients have a better life?
Excellent.
And I think that made a lot of difference, because doctors realized our confidence was good. Doctors realized that we ultimately did do things that help their patients better than any of the chain or box drugstores that don't do it. And the biggest differential is basically that personal relation that you create between a patient, doctor, that healthcare provider, and yourself as a pharmacist, where now you don't have to worry about an unknown entity leaving a message for an unknown doctor trying to figure out what's wrong with the patient. I can easily pick up a phone and talk to any doctor's office. They know us, they know that what we do for the patients, and they know that ultimately we always are looking at patients' benefit all the time.
That makes sense. Make absolute sense. So what's the future for your pharmacy? What are you looking on the horizon? Are you looking at acquiring additional locations? Are you looking to move into a specific disease state? Are you looking to possibly expand into like a mail service orientation? What's on the horizon?
So I definitely want to expand. That's exactly what our primary target is. However, there are some challenges, like it's always going to be. Industry is changing towards basically more and more political scenarios where it's not beneficial to the small business owners. And I think government needs to step in and create an environment where it helps everyone out equally. But again, that's a broad perspective. On short term, we are looking to expand for sure. We do have a business model that's been working great, and I think we'd like to expand that into a much broader market as well. Right now, we service 20 states, so we do kind of little bit of both, where we do the mail order as well as retail, and specialty is what we mail out. So we're looking to expand the whole segment in multiple locations and move forward.
I always say that if an independently owned community pharmacy is in fact getting into what you call mail order, it's called mail service. And the difference is a mail order, which is like a big PBM, there's no service in that. They just put them in the mail, and they send them out, and there you go. You have heart. You have heart for your. So I think that's service. So I think we should all start calling it mail service.
Mail service pharmacy, and I 100% agree with you, Todd. I guess that's definitely a good idea to start doing that, because that's where we are. That's what sets us apart from any of the big box chain drugstores.
Very much so. But you know what? I really enjoyed, honored that you got a chance to come on the show, that you're here at ideaShare 2017. I think the McKesson Technology Pharmacy Services Division is an incredible group of people that are passionate about what they do.
Absolutely.
And I think it helps to make quite the difference in independent pharmacies business.
I agree, and I believe in that as well.
Thank you so much for being on the Pharmacy Podcast.
Pleasure was mine as well. Thank you.
Hi, I'm Carolyn Jenkins, and I'm from Modern Pharmacy in Sheboygan, Michigan.
Hey, welcome to the Pharmacy Podcast Network. How you doing?
Good. I'm really enjoying this.
So, Carolyn, is this your first time in New Orleans?
Yes, it is.
Okay, what do you think of New Orleans so far?
There is a lot of spicy food here. Lots of spice. I was not ready for that.
Okay. And how many ideaShares have you been to?
I've been to 3.
Okay. So I've been to 3 as well. This is my first as the Pharmacy Podcast, though. And you've never been on the Pharmacy Podcast, huh?
No, I have not.
But you said your husband likes podcasts.
He loves podcasts. He listens to them every morning.
There's a big network out there called Podcast One, and they're the comedy guys that do things, and I'm sure he probably listened to that guy.
Yeah, he does.
But the Pharmacy Podcast Network is that myriad of different podcasts all dedicated to you, the community pharmacy owner. And what we're excited about is really listening to your ideas about what technology means to you.
Okay.
So I'm just going to open up to you. Tell me about your relationship with McKesson, specifically their Pharmacy and Technology Services Division. What system are you using right now?
Right now we are using the PharmaServe and the Pharmacy Navigator system.
Okay.
The combination.
So tell me about the Navigator system. We haven't had anybody on the show yet talking about Navigator.
I actually love the Navigator system. It's really good trackability. You can track a prescription from when it's getting inputted to when it's checked to when it's out the door. So you can look up anything in that system and track it, the whole process along the way.
Excellent. So talk to me about the size of your organization. How many pharmacies are you guys in right now? How many do you?
We currently have 1 pharmacy. We're building another one. It's hopefully opening next month. Right now we do we've been super busy lately, so we've been doing about 300 prescriptions a day.
Wow, that's great.
So I think our new store is probably going to hit the floor running and probably do about 200 a day because we've been getting a lot of interest.
Excellent. And then before we started interviewing you, I heard you say something about mail service or specialty?
Yeah, we do compounding. We do actually about probably 25 compounds a day. We do a lot of hormone therapy and vet therapy and stuff. We have a good relationship with providers in our area.
So talk to me about that. How are you reaching out to other organizations and physicians and vets or whatever? Like, do you have a marketing team that does that for you?
Actually, no. We actually see the doctors ourselves personally, and we go to the vets, and so they know us from that. And my mom, who is the owner of the pharmacy, is a big advocate in the community, so they recognize her for that and then reach out to us through that.
So what about the Navigator system? Is that helping you with patients or also the relationships that you have with physicians and or vets?
The Navigator system is more of the trackability. The PharmaServe is nice because we have a lot of the doctor's personal cell phones in there. You can call them. I had a doctor give me his personal cell phone number, and it's easy to reach out to him with any questions we have with patients and stuff. And physicians call us directly rather than a chain pharmacy to ask for advice or medication ideas.
What is the greatest challenge right now for you as a business owner who's trying to grow your business?
The biggest challenge is finding people who are motivated to stay on my staff. I'm actually one of the younger ones on my staff, and most people are getting to retirement age, so they really don't have the motivation to, try new things or stuff like that. So it's hard to find staff.
That's a really good point, Carolyn. So when you bring on a new staff member, tell me about how the technology needs to be easy to pick up, and talk to me a little bit about the integration of a new staff member.
We just got a couple new staff members last year. They actually came from Kmart in our town, and they had used a totally different software. So they knew software, but they didn't know how ours worked because everyone has a different click this, click that. So I'm actually the trainer for the new staff because I've used it so much. But they're continuing to learn, and anytime they have a question, they can come to me, and we just kind of learn on the fly sometimes.
Very good. So have you kind of made a training process that's the same for everybody?
I'm trying to work on that. Since we've only had a couple new staff members, we actually have a new staff member coming next week. So I'm kind of trying to figure out, she's worked with this PharmaServe system before, so she knows a little bit. But I'm trying to figure out how to integrate her into, I guess, technically like our family.
Yeah. So I have a background in pharmacy systems as well, and I remember the trainers would actually train the super user, and then the super user on the pharmacy team would become the trainer.
Yep.
But marrying the pharmacy system with the processes internal to that pharmacy is also part of the training.
Yes.
So it's more than just the technology. It's also how your pharmacy actually operates.
Exactly, because there's you have different workflow for different places. And so it's nice because the Pharmacy Navigator has a good workflow. Like I said, you can track everything, but the workflow is nice and it's pretty conducive because you have a barcode scanner that kind of tracks everywhere you go.
Are you doing delivery for your patients?
We do some deliveries, yeah. In our town, we have actually a delivery vehicle. We provide for hospice, so we deliver there as well, and a couple adult foster care homes.
What about like long-term care or senior care?
We do have a little bit of that. They have a lot of nurses and stuff that come and pick up their stuff, but we do fill a lot of those prescriptions.
Very good. And then how long did you say you're on PharmaServe system?
We've been on PharmaServe as long as I've been there. They were on it before I got there. I've been on it personally about 10 years,
okay. But
they've had it forever. I mean,
so in 10 years, what changes to the system have excited you the most as an operator and someone that's using this every day?
There's a batch refill, and that might have been there for a while, but I do use that feature a lot. We have a refill line you can call into at the end of the night, and it preloads right in our system. So when you come in, say you called your prescription in last night, it'll pop up for me to fill in the morning.
So what about the ideaShare? Why do you keep coming back? What is it about this conference with all the conferences that are out there? Why are you investing in this one?
Well, number one is the generic rebate that I get. I will say that. But a lot of it is, I use a lot of these products already, and it's nice to reach out to the people that are actually behind the products. Like, we went and looked at, PharmaServe, even though I have it. They have a new update coming, so that was exciting to me. And you get to talk to the people behind the companies that you're already using.
Okay. So before you go, Carolyn, I want you to give a shout out to your husband since he loves podcasts so much.
All right, Derek, you better listen to this because you listen to every other one, and I sometimes have to listen to them. So,
Derek, she's calling you out, so make sure that you listen. We'll have to give him a code word. If he doesn't say the code word, he didn't listen to the show. So what's the code word?
The code word is Ghostbusters.
Ghostbusters. Very good. Carolyn, thank you so much for being on the Pharmacy Podcast Show.
All right, thank you very much.
Thanks for listening to the Pharmacy Podcast Network's coverage of the McKesson ideaShare 2017, recorded live from the Big Easy, New Orleans, Louisiana. This podcast is sponsored by the Pharmacy Technology and Services Division of McKesson, MPTS. ideaShare is about helping pharmacy owners and operators focus on improving their business knowledge, leverage the industry's most effective technologies, and deliver innovative resources needed to improve a pharmacy's performance and maximize profitability. Be sure to listen to all the podcasts from the ideaShare 2017 Special Series and contact McKesson Pharmacy Technology and Services to learn more about the latest in state-of-the-art technologies and the best software management systems available in pharmacy.